understand the gospel today. My sympathies, it's a twisty one. If you didn't hear it, don't worry, I'm going to kind of try and make sense of it. It's an important one because every story or parable that Jesus tells in the Gospel according to Luke has something to do with what he said at the beginning of this gospel, when he was sitting in synagogue and teaching them what the scripture meant. He said then, I'm going to raise everybody up. To those who are imprisoned, they will be set free. Those in power will come crashing down. So this is good news if you're a slave or a servant. If you're going after wealth, is this good news for you? No. So basically, the way to understand this reading is to look at the lowest denominator as far as a person goes. And it'll be these people who owe a lot of money. They owe way more than they should have been charged. Because we are to understand that the boss, or the owner of the plantation, is taking some money from them that would be equivalent to interest. And if he's a good Jew, that's against the commandments. You do not charge interest when you're getting a working day from the poor. You pay them what they are owed, and they trade in what they have planted for you or what they have invested for you. They make money, but you're not to take more than is your share. Also, we are to assume, because we're told there's a dishonest steward here, or a dishonest money manager, because he has the job of collecting all the money, and he's taking his share off the top also. And the boss finds out, the steward is in trouble, and the servants are not in trouble, but they have been strapped with financial burdens that were way too much for them for way too long. And in this story, everything changes. So when the steward finds out that the boss knows what he's been up to, he gets nervous. This is the first stage in changing or transforming your life to be more in alignment with Jesus. I don't want to change my life. That makes me nervous. He's got to do something or he's going to lose his job. If he loses his job, he loses his reputation. He'll have to move. He'll have to do indentured servitude until he can get back up to the place where he is now. He wants to keep his position. What is he going to do? He forgives half of some people's, 20% of other people's. He forgives a significant amount of their loan so that they feel kindly towards him, and his master or the boss says, well, good work. You changed your dishonest ways. I like how you balanced the books. It was dishonest bookkeeping, but I'm not going to say anything. We know that this is what Jesus is commending, that he saved the money of the poorest of the poor by covering his ass, basically, so that he wouldn't be culpable. So he's not culpable. We don't know what he does the next time around. Next payday, he may go back to his dirty ways. But for this story, he has released the burden on the poor, and that's the point. We have stories like this at this time of year because this is stewardship time. And we are all asked to give of our own resources to God. But here at Zion Church, God has a physical form and physical property, our beautiful grounds, this beautiful church. This weekend, we hosted the anti-racism workshop for the Diocese of New York. People came from all over the diocese to be at this workshop because it's required of us, if we're in any leadership role, to take the anti-racism course. And many of these people had never been inside the sanctuary here at Zion. The last part of the two-day workshop was gathering around the altar and offering to one of our brown-skinned priests the honor of celebrating the Eucharist behind the altar. So it was a fitting way to end the workshop on anti-racism. But what I wanted to point out was that everybody took a collective breath in when they first walked into the sanctuary. If you haven't seen it before, it kind of takes your breath away. So when we're giving a portion of our share of wealth to the church, we know which church it is. It's this church, and we also support the Diocese of New York, which does wonderful things for us. For instance, training our deacon in training. We are indebted to the Diocese for Chris. Thank you. So, what are we to take from this? We are to take that each one of us is culpable for something. There is something that each one of us could be a little bit more generous with. There's something that we could do to lift those who are impoverished up just a nudge. So if your heart is inclined to figure what that is, it's called discernment, and you get to discern how much am I going to help or be willing to help when somebody asks me. It's always a challenge when you dig into your purse. The last thing I want to say, and then we're ready for the baptism, is that in the old editions of this story, it goes like this. You cannot serve both mammon and the Lord. And anybody remember what mammon means? It's translated as wealth, but it's actually a personification. Like, you remember the cartoon character Uncle Sam? You can picture him, right? Well, Mammon was this great big green monster that wants to keep accumulating wealth. More tax-sheltered annuities, more money managers, more property, more jewelry that I can hawk up the price on. So it's this ever-increasing monster of increasing wealth. We want to kind of lower the volume on the greed monster and raise up the value of our ability to give, and give comfort, give of ourselves, give time, and give a few pennies to those who need it most. Amen.